3:47 a.m. Pelican Bay State Prison, California. The Security Housing Unit. The SHU. America's Supermax within a Supermax. Cell D Block, number 217. Marcus Ghost Williams has been awake for 43 hours straight. Not by choice. In the SHU, they control everything, including sleep. The lights never fully dim. The temperature fluctuates randomly. The noise is constant. Screams. Banging. The hum of ventilation. Marcus has been in this concrete tomb for 9 years. 9 years in a windowless cell smaller than a parking space. No human touch. No sunlight. No hope. He's not on death row. He's serving life for killing a rival gang member. But here's the thing. Pelican Bay's SHU might be worse than death row. Because on death row, at least you know it will end. In the SHU, you just exist. Forever. This is the final 24 hours of Marcus Williams' 9th year in the most brutal isolation unit in America. And what you're about to witness will show you that some punishments are designed to break the human mind. Before we step inside Pelican Bay's concrete tomb, if you're into the darkest prison stories in America, you need to subscribe right now. I expose what really happens inside the most extreme prisons, and this one will haunt you. Hit that like button, because 90% of you aren't subscribed. Change that now. Let's enter the SHU. Pelican Bay State Prison, Crescent City, California. Opened in 1989. Built specifically to house California's most dangerous gang members, violent offenders, and inmates who've committed crimes inside other prisons. The Security Housing Unit, the SHU, is a prison within the prison. Over 1,000 inmates locked in complete isolation. 23 hours a day in their cells. 1 hour in a concrete exercise cage. No contact with other inmates. No phone calls. Severely limited visits. The SHU was designed based on psychological research. The architects studied sensory deprivation. They wanted to create an environment that would break gang affiliations through isolation. What they created was a human experiment in torture. The cells are 8 feet by 10 feet. Solid steel doors. No bars. A small slot for food trays. A tiny window reinforced with thick plastic. But it doesn't face outside. It faces another concrete wall. You can't see the sky. You can't see trees. You can't see anything except gray concrete. The lights stay on 24 hours a day. Not bright enough to read comfortably. Not dim enough to sleep well. Just a constant, oppressive glow. The temperature is controlled centrally. Some days it's 60 degrees. Some days it's 85. You never know. You can't control it. That's the point. Control. You have none. Marcus Williams. Born 1985 in South Central Los Angeles. Joined the Bloods at age 13. By 16, he was running drugs for the gang. By 20, he'd been shot twice. Survived both times. Earned the nickname Ghost because he always disappeared before the cops arrived. In 2010, Marcus was arrested for murder. A rival Crip gang member. Shot 5 times outside a liquor store in Compton. Marcus was convicted and sentenced to 25 to life at Corcoran State Prison. He thought prison would be like the streets. Gang politics. Respect. Power. He was wrong. Within 6 months, Marcus stabbed another inmate during a yard fight. Didn't kill him. But it was enough. The prison transferred him to Pelican Bay. To the SHU. That was 2015. He's been here ever since. 9 years. In a concrete cell. Alone. Marcus is now 39 years old. He looks 55. His hair is gray. His face is gaunt. His eyes are hollow. The SHU doesn't just age you. It erases you. 5 a.m. There's no wake-up call in the SHU. No buzzer. No announcement. Because the assumption is you're already awake. Most inmates are. Sleep is nearly impossible here. Marcus sits on the edge of his concrete bunk. The mattress is a thin foam pad, maybe 2 inches thick. It does nothing against the concrete slab beneath. His back aches. It always aches. 9 years of sleeping on concrete will do that. He stands. stretches. His joints crack. He's developing arthritis at 39. The lack of movement. The cold concrete. The stress. He begins his morning routine. 50 push-ups. Broken into sets of 10. His form is perfect. Prison has kept him strong. But strong doesn't mean healthy. Mentally, Marcus is fracturing. He knows it. He can feel pieces of himself disappearing. Memories fading. Emotions flattening. The isolation is eating his brain from the inside. 6:30 a.m. Marcus hears the food cart rolling down the tier. Metal wheels on concrete. The sound echoes. Everything echoes in the SHU. A slot at the bottom of his cell door opens. A tray slides through. Breakfast. 2 pieces of white bread. A scoop of oatmeal. A small carton of milk. A piece of fruit. Today it's a bruised apple. This is breakfast. Marcus pulls the tray into his cell. Sits on his bunk. Eats slowly. Not because he's savoring it. Because there's nothing else to do. Eating is an event. Something to mark the passage of time. The food is tasteless. Institutional. But Marcus eats every bite. In the SHU, you eat what you're given. When he's done, he places the tray back at the slot. Within minutes, a guard pulls it away. The slot closes. Marcus has seen exactly 0 human faces today. That's normal. Some days he goes weeks without seeing another person's face. 8 a.m. Silence. Not complete silence. That doesn't exist in the SHU. There's always the hum of ventilation, the buzz of fluorescent lights, the occasional scream from another cell. But human silence. Marcus hasn't had a conversation in 3 days. The guards don't talk to inmates. They give orders. Hands through the slot. Back up. Stay still. But they don't converse. It's policy. Fraternization with SHU inmates is discouraged. Dehumanization is encouraged. Marcus talks to himself sometimes. Whispers. Mutters. Recites things he remembers. Rap lyrics. Movie lines. His mother's voice. But his memory is failing. 9 years of isolation does that. The brain needs stimulation. Without it, neural pathways deteriorate. Scientists call it isolation syndrome. Prisoners call it going crazy. Marcus can feel it happening. Some days he can't remember his daughter's name. She was 3 when he was arrested. She's 12 now. He hasn't seen her in 7 years. His sister stopped bringing her. Said it was too traumatic. Marcus understands. But it still destroyed him. 10 a.m. The mail slot opens. A single envelope drops to the floor. Marcus picks it up. It's from his court-appointed lawyer. He's been fighting his placement in the SHU for years, arguing that 9 years of isolation violates the 8th Amendment. Cruel and unusual punishment. He tears open the envelope. Reads, "Dear Mr. Williams, your petition for transfer out of the SHU has been denied. The court finds that your history of violence and gang affiliation justifies continued segregation. You may reapply in 18 months. Marcus crumples the letter, throws it across the cell. 18 months. That's what they said last time. And the time before that. He's been denied 4 times. The California Department of Corrections has discretion. If they deem you a gang member, you can stay in the SHU indefinitely. Some men have been here for 20 years, 30 years. There's no maximum sentence for the SHU, just an endless present tense. 11:30 a.m. Marcus's cell door opens. 2 guards stand outside. Riot gear, helmets, batons. Williams, exercise. Hands through the slot. Marcus complies. He's done this thousands of times. His hands are cuffed through the slot. The door opens fully. Step out. Face the wall. Marcus steps into the corridor. Backs against the wall. One guard keeps a hand on his shoulder while the other applies leg shackles. When he's fully restrained, they walk him down the corridor. 50 feet. To the exercise cage. It's a concrete box. 10 feet by 20 feet. 30-foot walls. A chain link roof. No equipment. No weights. Nothing. Just concrete and sky. But Marcus can see the sky. For 1 hour a day, he can see clouds, birds, sunlight. It's the only natural light he gets. He's led into the cage. The shackles are removed through the fence. The door locks. He's alone. Marcus starts walking, pacing, back and forth. It's all he can do. There's no room to run. No space for anything except pacing. He counts his steps. It helps him track time. 1,000 steps is about 45 minutes. When he hits 1,000, he knows exercise is almost over. 12:45 p.m. The guards return. The shackling process repeats. Marcus is walked back to his cell. The door closes. Lock clicks. He's back in his tomb. That was his hour of freedom. Tomorrow, he'll do it again. And the day after. And the day after. For 9 years, he's walked in circles in that cage. Over 3,000 times. Some inmates refuse exercise. They say it's more torture than relief. To taste freedom for 1 hour, then have it taken away. But Marcus goes every time. Because that hour is all he has. 1:30 p.m. The food slot opens. Another tray. A sandwich. Bologna and cheese on white bread. A small bag of chips. A carton of juice. This is lunch. Marcus eats on his bunk. The bologna is slimy. The bread is stale. He doesn't care. Food is fuel. Nothing more. He thinks about his last real meal. 2015, a burger from In-N-Out. His sister bought it for him right before his transfer to Pelican Bay. He can still remember the taste, the texture, the smell. 9 years ago. It feels like a lifetime. It was a lifetime. The Marcus who ate that burger doesn't exist anymore. That person is dead. What's left is ghost. A hollow shell. A number. Inmate D217. Real quick, if you're still watching, you need to subscribe. I cover America's most extreme prisons every single week, and Pelican Bay is one of the worst. Drop a comment. Could you survive even 1 year in the SHU? Now, back to Marcus's nightmare. 3 p.m. Marcus's cell door opens. A woman enters. Dr. Sarah Chun, prison psychologist. She visits SHU inmates once every 3 months. It's required by law. A guard stands outside. Dr. Chun sits on a small stool. Marcus remains on his bunk. "How are you feeling today, Marcus?" she asks. Her voice is kind, professional. Marcus doesn't answer immediately. He hasn't spoken to anyone in days. His voice is rusty. "Fine." Dr. Chin writes in her notebook. "Any suicidal thoughts?" "Sometimes." She writes that down. "Have you made any plans?" "No." More writing. "How's your sleep?" "I don't sleep." "How many hours would you estimate?" 2. Maybe 3. Dr. Chun looks up, concerned. "That's not enough, Marcus." "I can prescribe. I don't want pills." Marcus interrupts. "I want out of this fucking cell." Dr. Chun sighs. She's heard this before. From hundreds of inmates. "I can't make that decision, Marcus. That's up to the administration." "Then why are you here?" Marcus asks. "To make sure you're not dying," she says honestly. Marcus almost laughs. "I've been dying for 9 years. You just write it down every 3 months. Dr. Chin closes her notebook. Stands. "I'm sorry, Marcus." She leaves. The door closes. Marcus is alone again. That was 15 minutes of human interaction. The next will be in 90 days. 4 p.m. Marcus lies on his bunk, eyes closed. He tries to remember his daughter's face. Her name is Aaliyah. He remembers that. But her face is blurry. He has one photo from 7 years ago. She's 5 in the picture, smiling, missing her front teeth. He stares at that photo every day. But memories are fading. The brain, deprived of new experiences, starts cannibalizing old ones. Neuroscientists have studied this. Prolonged isolation causes the hippocampus, the memory center, to shrink. Marcus is losing his past. Soon, all he'll have is this cell, this present, this tomb. He thinks about the man he killed, the rival gang member. He doesn't remember his name, doesn't remember his face. Just the moment, the gun, the shots, the body falling, That memory is vivid. Because violence is the only thing the SHU reinforces. Everything else fades. 5:30 p.m. The food slot opens. Dinner. A scoop of beans. A piece of cornbread. A small cup of canned peaches. Marcus eats. The routine is identical to breakfast and lunch. When he's done, he places the tray at the slot. It's removed. The slot closes. 3 meals a day. That's 9 minutes of interaction with the outside world. The rest is silence. 7 p.m. Marcus hears a sound. A voice. Muffled. Coming from the cell next door. "I ghost. You there?" It's Miguel. Cell D218. Marcus doesn't know what Miguel looks like. They've been neighbors for 2 years. Never seen each other. But they talk sometimes. Through the ventilation duct. It's against the rules. If caught, they lose privileges. But what privileges? They have nothing to lose. "Yeah, I'm here," Marcus whispers back. "You good?" Miguel asks. "Same as always," Marcus says. "You?" "Same." A pause. Then Miguel speaks again. "My sister visited today." Marcus's chest tightens. He hasn't had a visitor in 7 years. "That's good, man. She said my mom's sick. Cancer." Marcus doesn't know what to say. "I'm sorry." "Yeah." Another pause. Then Miguel's voice cracks. "I'm never getting out of here, ghost. I'm gonna die in this fucking cell." Marcus wants to tell him he's wrong. That there's hope. But he can't. Because it's probably true. "We all are," Marcus says quietly. The conversation ends. Both men return to their silence. 9 p.m. In most prisons, lights dim at night. Not in the SHU. They stay on. 24 hours. 7 days a week. The official reason is security. The real reason is control. Sleep deprivation is a form of psychological torture. The United Nations has said so. But the SHU continues. Marcus lies on his bunk. Covers his eyes with his arm. Tries to sleep. His mind races. Thoughts spiral. The isolation amplifies everything. Anxiety, depression, paranoia. Some inmates develop hallucinations. They see people who aren't there. Hear voices. Marcus isn't there yet. But he's close. He can feel it. The edge of sanity. He's standing on it. 11 p.m. From somewhere in the tier, a scream. High-pitched. Agonizing. Someone is having a breakdown. It happens often in the SHU. Men lose their minds. They scream. Bang their heads against walls. Try to kill themselves. The guards respond. Heavy boots. Shouts. The sound of a cell door opening. More screams. Then silence. The inmate has been restrained. Probably sedated. He'll wake up in a padded cell. Or a psychiatric hospital. Or a morgue. Marcus listens. Heart pounding. That could be him. Any day. Any moment. The line between sanity and madness is thin. And the SHU is designed to push you across it. 1 a.m. Marcus is still awake. He's exhausted. But sleep won't come. The lights. The noise. The racing thoughts. He stares at the ceiling. Counts the tiles. He's counted them 10,000 times. There are 36 tiles. He knows every crack. Every stain. Every imperfection. This is his life. Counting ceiling tiles. Waiting to die. He closes his eyes. Tries to meditate. Breathe. In. Out. In. Out. But meditation doesn't work in the SHU. How can you find inner peace when your outer world is designed to destroy you? 3 a.m. Marcus is half asleep. Dreaming. Or hallucinating. He's not sure. He sees his daughter, Aaliyah. She's standing in his cell. She looks older. 12. Like she is now. But he's never seen her at 12. His mind is creating her. "Daddy," she says. Her voice is uncertain. Marcus sits up. Reaches out. "Baby girl." But when his hand touches her, she disappears. Marcus is alone. Again. His eyes burn. He hasn't cried in 9 years. Crying is weakness. But tonight, alone in his cell, he breaks. Silent tears. Shoulders shaking. He cries for the life he destroyed, the family he lost, the man he became, and the man he'll never be again. 5 a.m. 24 hours have passed. Marcus is still awake. Day 3286 in the SHU. He stands. 50 push-ups. The routine begins again. Same cell. Same food. Same isolation. Same emptiness. This is the rest of his life. The SHU doesn't rehabilitate. It doesn't correct. It just holds. Forever. Marcus Williams will probably die here. Heart attack. Suicide. Old age. It doesn't matter. He's already dead. His body just hasn't realized it yet. Over 1,000 inmates are in Pelican Bay's SHU. Some have been there for over 30 years. Studies show prolonged isolation causes permanent brain damage, depression, anxiety, PTSD, hallucinations, cognitive decline. Inmates who are eventually released from the SHU have a 95% recidivism rate. They can't function in society. They've been too damaged. The SHU was designed to break gang affiliations. But what it really breaks is humanity. California has spent billions on the SHU. Billions on concrete tombs. And the result? More violence. More trauma. More broken men. Human rights organizations call it torture. The United Nations agrees. But the SHU remains. Because society wants its monsters locked away. Out of sight. Out of mind. And Marcus Williams is a monster. He killed a man. He admits that. But does killing someone mean you deserve to be psychologically destroyed? To be held in a concrete box until your mind shatters? That's the question. And America has answered. Yes. The guards at Pelican Bay don't see themselves as torturers. They see themselves as doing a job. These guys are the worst of the worst, one guard said. Gang leaders. Killers. If we don't isolate them, they'll kill each other. Or us. There's truth to that. The SHU was created because California prisons were war zones in the 1980s. Gangs controlled entire yards. Guards were attacked. Inmates were murdered. Something had to be done. But the solution, total isolation, created new problems. Guards who work the SHU suffer too. High rates of PTSD, depression, divorce, suicide. Being surrounded by human suffering every day takes a toll, even if you believe it's justified. Many guards rotate out after a year. They can't handle it. Those who stay become desensitized. They stop seeing inmates as human. They become part of the machine that grinds men into dust. In 2015, California settled a lawsuit over SHU conditions. They agreed to limit indefinite isolation, to offer step-down programs, to evaluate gang affiliations more fairly. It was progress, but not enough. Hundreds of men remain in the SHU, including Marcus, because his gang tattoos, his record, his past. The system sees him as unredeemable. Some activists argue the SHU should be abolished entirely, that isolation is always torture. Others argue it's necessary, that some men are too dangerous for general population. The debate continues, while Marcus and 1,000 others sit in concrete cells, waiting, just waiting. Marcus Ghost Williams has been in Pelican Bay's security housing unit for 9 years. He killed a rival gang member when he was 25. He's now 39. He will likely spend the rest of his life in an 8x10 concrete cell. No human touch. No sunlight. No hope. Pelican Bay's SHU was designed to break gang power. But what it really breaks is the human mind. If you want more stories from America's most brutal prisons, check out my video on ADX Florence Supermax. It's even more extreme. Link on screen now. Don't forget to subscribe because I cover cases like this every single week. And drop a comment. Is the SHU justice or is it torture? Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.